Now look at all this good turned up dirt. Well, it is freshly turned up. This is not the ideal time to find like projectile points, although I could get real lucky. It's been fresh turned up, no rain on it, but this is a site where I found my banner stone. And right now you can find some of those larger stone tools. In fact, stopped by here yesterday for just a couple minutes and I found one. I'll show you when I head back to the truck. I got it in the truck. But I'm gonna take a little bit more time today and go over this, and then there's some good rain coming in. We got a hurricane gonna be moving up and through, dumping a bunch of water, and this place is gonna get interesting. Well guys, that was pretty uneventful, but I kind of anticipated it. Only thing I really kicked out of them clods was that right there. Big old piece of that Knox chert. This is what I found the other day, and it is a grindstone. And the reason why you know it's a grindstone is because of the texture. Now that is just as smooth as it gets. Even smoother than this, but not by much. And then this right up in here, but the real telltale sign for me is this little divot right in here. Just as smooth and worn out. So I think we're looking at something like that right there. Little grindstone. And right there is where somebody's fingers would have been. It's very cool. All right, guys, we got some rain on this broke up dirt, and it's just enough to make a little color start popping. And look at there. I believe we got us a point. Oh yeah. That is a thick little dude. But a point nonetheless. Very good. I've only been here about 2 minutes, so hopefully there's a little bit more of that to come. All right, I got something cool looking over here. It looks, oh, it is worked. What is that material? Well, that's kind of cool looking. I'll have to clean that up, but I can't tell if that's a dark quartz or chert, but definitely part of a little blade anyway. That'll be cool cleaned up. Well, I got a couple things showing here that look interesting. That right there, it's broke. That was one. Broke in both places. Look at that, probably a little more mountain. Broke there and broke there. But check out this blade or axe or whatever you want to call it. Look at that deal. Wow. That right there was a horse. Look at that. It's almost fluted almost, like they tried to shake that chip out of the back of that thing. That is really cool piece right there. Too bad it ain't all together, but gotta take it as they come. Just flipped one out. It's a pretty little deal. Look at that. Yes, sir. I'll take that all day long. Thought it was a broke tip at first, but you can see that's pretty well the base of it. Maybe a little bit of damage at the end, but not much. Some of that milky quartz right there. There's another little beauty flipped out. I don't think it's broke. No, that ain't broke. A little on the crude side, but it's got a nice point. Yes, sir. Well, there's one a blind man could spot, and right there's a footprint from this morning. So I just straight up missed that one. It's missing its tip, which is a shame because that's the prettiest one so far. It's still an artifact though. Look how translucent that thing is. Beautiful. One of the weird things about this garden, close to that creek right there that you hear, is that this lower end, I don't find anything in it. And the dirt is just a darker color. And I guess that's just because this whole thing is kind of on a slope down towards the creek. And dirt's super soft and dark, so topsoil washed over it, maybe stuff's deeper, but first time, all of a sudden I started seeing this laying down in here. And what we got there is a couple brokes. But then I looked down and I saw this. Now, guys, that looks super interesting to me. That looks like a nice thin point. Oh, it's big too. Come on, be good. Ugh. Oh, wow. Just the tip broke off, but I tell you what, not much of it. This was kind of blunted, so not so much a projectile point as that is just a nice thin blade. That is really cool. And I love looking down the edge of these thin blades. And you see that wiggle worm going down the spine there? Back and forth, back and forth. Those are all those flaking platforms. Showing how they worked that thing. And that is a nice find for down on the low end. I think that's going to clean up pretty. All right. See what else pops up down low here. All right, guys, this is my third pass through on different days, and I try to, if I can do it with my schedule, try to make it at different times of the day, because sunlight plays a factor. So low light with the sun directly overhead, all those little nooks and crannies in there, sometimes something being in shade, you'll miss it. But I want you to look. Now, this is the lower end of the garden that I was talking about in the last video, where I had never found much. But you look at them footprints right there. Those are mine. And I want you to look right there. I just poked it, and it's a killer. Look at that. I have been looking for one of these for so long in this garden. It's the only spot that I found bases like this, and I must have 5 or 6 bases broken off. Never found a complete one until just now. And to be honest with you, I don't really know what to call this point. Maybe some of you point guys, experts, will be able to inform me. I've always thought Yadkin, but several people have said no, not a Yadkin. I really don't know what to call that, but I have a feeling that is going to be a pretty point. Awesome. Well, I just got her all washed up, and I want you guys to check this out. Look how translucent that thing is. Oh, that's so pretty. Wow. Nice to finally have one of them whole. Ooh, take a look at that. Man, that's a gorgeous sunset. Well, it looks like we're back to the broken bases again. But look at that one sitting right there. Same sort of type. There's a lot of them in here like this. I don't know why exactly, but I think they're cool. Well, there's another one. And that's about, boy, as complete as you can ask for around here in the little garden anyway, but I mean, that's a pretty one. And I keep going back and forth between that's called a Camp Creek type point or a Yadkin. They're woodland period points, so a little bit on the newer side of things. Nothing like that nearly as old as those larger points that I've pulled in the last few videos, but I really like the design of them. I think they're just cool looking. Just wish there were more of them intact. Well, I bent down to pick up a little tiny flake, and that caught my eye. It may be a nice little point there. So, I thought we'd pluck it together. It looks almost like that. Oh, that's a point. Please be whole. Please be whole. I need a little stick. Let me get my walking stick here. Ease up a little bit of this dirt here. This is kind of a cool reveal anyway. Let's see if he'll move. Oh yeah. All right, boy, that looks like it might be a good one. What kind of base we got? Oh, check that out. Oh, that was cool. And just like that, I realized I had the camera turned the wrong dang way. Ruined a perfectly good reveal. Guys, that's a pretty cool point right there. That Knox chert. Yeah, buddy, you don't see them that size often. That is just awesome. One little break there on the tip. And there's where she sat. All those years, boy, I was really fortunate to spot that. As I was cleaning it, I saw that too. Oh, what we got? Nah, looks like a flake. I thought maybe it had a little bird point too. Heck yeah. All day long. Very cool. And there's a little Guilford. It's almost uniface. Not quite. They did take off that back edge a little bit. Man, it's amazing what a little rain will do. You see my footsteps right there. And look at that. Guarantee you that wasn't showing last night. Oh, wow. What a base. Goodness gracious. One day, one of them things will be whole. That's going to clean up pretty. Well, once again, a little bit of rain helps. And so there's the footprint. And there's the artifact that I stepped on. Well, that is a reworked piece of flint. It has gotten all the life out of it. That is a cool little point though. All right. Guys, check out this piece. That has got to be one of the cooler pieces I have ever found. What in the world were they doing with that thing? I mean, that one right there is a, I don't know. Could that have been like a big long drill? But I mean, it's unifaced on this side, so completely flat. And but it is tapered on this side, so I have no idea. But that is wild right there. That would have been an interesting looking piece. Wow. This thing is so weird looking. I'm gonna allow my imagination a little bit of freedom. To me, it kind of looks like a bird's head. 3 distinct breaks, so 3 projections coming off that. That was one. There's the second, and then the third is coming up. And then, you know, the top has got some weird features to it too. It's worked and rolled over. There's no shoulder there. There's that little kind of a hump towards the end, close to that break at the end. I'm not sure, but that is a weird looking piece. I'd love to know what it was. Oh, sometimes garden hunting hurts. I want you to look how thin that point or blade was. Oh my goodness, that would have been a killer. I almost didn't even pick that up. I thought it was, I did not think it was an artifact. It just, good grief. That is still sharp enough to cut with. I had to see it. I had to stop and clean it. Dadgummit. Oh, that would have been so pretty. Cannot imagine how difficult it is to work quartz that thin. All right, another little snap base coming out. Yeah, hard to say what that one may have been. Maybe a little Guilford or something like that. I don't know. We'll take it though. Well, we're always excited when it rains because that washes those artifacts out, but maybe one thing you've not considered, if you've got a piece of ground like this, maybe it's a clearing, you know, they're doing some logging. Anyway, you got ground broken up, but no rain. Well, you get some cold weather. Freeze thaw. See those cracks like that? The ground freezes, and as it thaws, it'll crack. And that can reveal stuff like this, which is locked in the frost still, but I think we have the base of one of those little woodland points. So, see if we can break that loose and see what we got. And there we go. Very nice. Broken once again. Probably broken this year, but at least we got the back of it. And I really like this style of point. It's nice and thin too. A little bit of rain last night, and it's getting pretty slim. This dirt really needs to break down, but I thought I'd check anyway. That's interesting looking right there. That might just be part of a stone bowl. That is very interesting. Be cool to see what that looks like cleaned up. That will tell the tale, but very possible. Not much clay pottery at this site. There are some projectile points that would easily go woodland and be found, you know, with pottery, same time era, but there are a lot of points that are much earlier than the advent of clay pottery. And they would have had stone bowls. That may be a piece. All right, let you know if I find anything else. I'm always trying to show a good comparison between weird shaped rocks and what are artifacts, and so I think what we got here is a good example for that. Now, you look at that shape right there and I'm going, wow, you know, look at that. Come on, focus you. There we go. You know, it's just got that odd curve to it. But I think what we're going to see when we wash this up is a very different texture from this, which I believe is completely natural break, to the inside of that, which isn't. So cleaning that up will help us tell a little bit of a story, maybe help you identify what is and what ain't an artifact. All right, guys, I got these cleaned up, and here's that natural piece, and you can see that's really obvious. Nothing's ever been ground on that. Yes, it has a funny shape, but that's a natural break. Now, compare that with this. And if you look really close, this is so cool. You'll see the lines where this was ground, where they did some grinding. You see the lines on the lip? If you look, there's lines that run this direction on the lip. There's lines that run this direction inside the pot. Look at that. Isn't that cool? Can't imagine how difficult it was to make something out of stone like that. And on the outside, we should have the same thing. And we do. You can see the grind lines. I'm sure that's not a technical term, but so there we go. And the outside edge, or the inside edge of that pot's just got a slight bevel. Now that's just awesome right there. I'll be looking for more pieces of that because I am sure that it is still in there.